increase the density of the air. I've got all kinds of tricks.
Okay, but where was this Eve when we were fighting the alternate marks? Come on guys, let's be consistent. Hey guys, what is going on? It is me, Punk Yoshi, or Alberto. Welcome back to another video. Guys, our show is now over, and we're gonna have to wait over a year for the next season. I guess it's time to take out the compendiums. These last two episodes have been crazy. Now I see where 60% of their budget went this season. I'm just playing. I never really had an issue with the animation like most of this community, but you know, the point still stands. If you're new to our channel, hi. My name is Punk Yoshi, and I love animation just as much as Conquest likes preying on the weak. Last video, we ended off on episode 6, where they teased the Council of Ricks. I mean, the Council of Marks and Angstrom Levy. Today we're going to be doing a quick rundown of the last two episodes, give our snarky comments, and as always, talk about those two episodes and the entirety of the season as a whole because now it's finished for good. Let's get started, shall we? Episode 7 starts off with showcasing the moments right after Invincible's fight with Angstrom, and by some miracle work, they were able to nurse him back to health. In present day, he's the one that has the spy cameras that Mark has been tweaking about all season. Adam Eve gets a call from the prison that they need Invincible's help. On the news, we see all the variations of Invincible attacking different landmarks on Earth. Rex helps Ray finish moving into her new place, but is called right into action. She offers to help, but Rex doesn't want to ruin her first day of retirement. At the prison, Mark fights Mohawk Mark, and Pyroflex joins in on the fun. The Pentagon got hit pretty bad, and they're using all of the help they can get from any superhero. Eve and Invincible scout out for more marks, and find one fighting a team of superheroes. Oliver mistakes our Invincible for another one with the same color scheme. Omni-Man Invincible shows up to help Hooded Mark with Eve and our Invincible, which he ends up snapping Eve's leg. The GDA show up to bring her to safety. An Invincible clone completely wrecks the Guardians of the Globe, paralleling Omni-Man doing the same thing back in episode 1. The Team, or whatever they call themselves, I don't really think they ever established a name, have an Invincible of their own. Rex convinces everyone to go away to safety, even though he was totally lying about having a plan. Alternate Mark beats him senseless, and with his final breath, he pulls out a trump card where his whole skeleton would fire up into an explosion. Then we get Billy Eyelash. Maturing is realizing that if Mark wasn't super emotionally attached, he probably could have saved millions, including Rex. The death toll at this point is definitely in the millions. Angstrom Levy summons his Council of Marks. They quickly turn on him after failing to uphold his promise of giving them their wishes from completing their task. He banishes them to an alternate barren land. Invincible finally confronts Angstrom, and after battling it out against his endless wave of robots, he finally hands him in a chokehold. Oliver eggs him on to finish the fight by killing Levi. Invincible hesitates, allowing Angstrom to slip through another portal. Here, the technicians that brought him back to life countless times refuse to help him and make him swear his loyalty to them after showing up empty-handed. Invincible visits Eve in the hospital and helps out rebuilding the cities that his variants destroyed. At the hospital, he meets Eve's parents, and Cecil confronts the remaining superheroes in efforts to rebuild the Guardians of the Globe. Invincible denies because he's done working for Cecil. Just then, he continues to help out during the wreck, and an ominous man shows up to confront Mark. He's wearing traditional Viltrumite clothing and swears to take over the world, and we're left with the first punch of the battle. The next episode picks up right after the first punch, and Conquest gets the upper hand. They fight in space, and Conquest lands a devastating blow to Mark, which really sends him for a loop. Oliver joins the battle, swearing to his mom that he'll be careful. Once he arrives, he lands a good punch on Conquest, but Mark urges him to leave the premises. He doesn't listen and is about to get pummeled by Conquest, but Mark swoops in to rescue him. Eve wakes up and immediately rushes into Invincible's aid, even though she has a pretty messed up leg. Conquest bodies Mark in order to spend some time on Oliver, and he is quickly overpowered and is able to stretch him. Definitely looks unbearably painful. Mark swoops in and saves Oliver. Oliver is saved by the GDA, coming in clutch. Conquest does the same move that Omni-Man does to him in the train scene, but this time he runs through an entire city. Once he breaks free, he sees that Eve has joined him in battle. Conquest shatters Invincible's leg after trying to save Eve, his only weakness. Eve pulls up with that Power Ranger armor you saw at the beginning and literally changes the density of the air around her and gets super powerful. Although it does come at a great cost because she doesn't have the Viltrumite stamina in her. But she does put up a decent fight until Conquest catches up to her and pummels her face in and does a Joker vs Superman. Devastated that he's losing Eve in front of his eyes, Invincible uses what's left of his strength to fight Conquest, breaking his gauntlet but shattering his right hand in the process. He continues to whip Conquest with his left hand and gets the upper hand until Eve sprawls out of the ground with glowing electrons around her. Conquest uses his time to flip sides and choke Mark out. Then he whispers in his ear that he is lonely, and the truth is that he's so freakishly good at what he does in being a lapdog to conquer planets that his whole civilization is afraid of what he's become, to the point where no one wants to talk to him. After making his final blow, Iron Man blasts Conquest straight through his body, melting most of his skin. Invincible uses his time to headbutt him until his head is mush, finally ending the battle between them. Invincible crawls his way to Eve, who has suffered tremendous damage and energy from reviving herself. The GDA teleports most of the heroes to this location, and they watch the aftermath of the events that have transpired. In the hospital, Invincible wakes up 3 days later. Eve consoles him, but they're happy they're both alive. Debbie and everyone show up to his awakening, and Cecil takes Mark to see Conquest's body, ordering him to burn the body. They hold a funeral for Rex Blode, where Robot does a memoir of his life and changes his name to Rex in honor of his friend. Eve and Mark get jiggy after the funeral, then we get a montage of the things that they're going to set up for next season. There are the Sequids in the sewers that are growing in strength. Aliens save Battle Beast to their misfortune. Then there's Damien Darkblood, who we haven't seen in a very long time. Cecil banished him down to hell. This whole post-credit scene is a major change from the comics. This whole scene was not in the comics at all. People are speculating that it's connected to Dinosaurus. I don't have too much information about him, but we're probably going to see him next season. And that's what we're left with. Guys, what a season we just had. I definitely prefer this season over season 2, but that being said, I still think there was a lot of filler here. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but episodes 3 to 6 felt very fillery, or at least just very slow. But it was very cool to see Invincible in his blue suit, definitely giving off that Black Spider-Man energy. And at the end of this episode, Mark swears that he's not going to pull his punches anymore, which is honestly a really good thing to hear, especially because of what's to come. Obviously, he shouldn't go around killing people willy-nilly, but the idea of him being at his full strength for the future Viltrumite fights is going to be so cool to see, especially for us fans of OP characters. I feel like we didn't get to see too much of Omni-Man and Alan this season, which I'm sure is pretty comic accurate, but it would have been nice to see more of their arc explored this season. I feel like the past 2 seasons we haven't seen them too much. If you guys aren't aware, there are 3 compendiums to Invincible, which cover all the comics, the entire story. And currently, we're in the middle of book 2, which puts us exactly halfway through the story of Invincible. With the stuff that they've been changing, I think it's very possible that we get 6 to 7 seasons of Invincible, especially with the extended lore. This season felt like Mark was getting pummeled every episode, which is so funny. I did mention it in my last video, but they hyped him up so much at the beginning of the season, saying that he got so much stronger. Then, every fight he gets whooped. Obviously, the power scaling is a little chopped, but obviously I think that Mark pulls his punches in order to not kill anyone. So it'll be cool to see what he does next season. Also, my friend did tell me that when they get jiggy at the end of the episode, it's possible that this is alluding to a future kid where Eve gets pregnant. I haven't read the comics, so I wouldn't know, but this will be a cool story arc to explore. Also, a cool little fact is that this last episode with Conquest got a 9.9 on IMDb. I think it was at 10 out of 10 earlier, but now it's a 9.9, which is really good. There's only a select few shows that have gotten 9.9 or 10. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Mark was really good this season? Do you think he was too weak? Are you excited to see him become OP? What do you guys think of Omni-Man? What do you guys think of Conquest? Let's talk about this in the comments. But with that, I'm going to end up today's video. If you did enjoy, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It goes a long way for a small YouTuber like myself, and keeps me going. As always guys, my name has been Yoshi or Alberto. I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye bye.